There have been ghost sightings recently at Ayano's school, Seiryu Academy. Jugo wants her to take care of it since it's her school, and even though she doesn't feel an evil presence, ordinary people are still scared. Ayano wants to solve this quickly, but not so fast. As she is the next Kanagi head and unsure where she's going, Kazuma has been assigned as a bodyguard. At the school compound, Ayano is quick to fire her fireball at those suspicious movements behind the bushes. But thanks to Kazuma's tripping, she missed. Otherwise, she could have fried her friends. Yukari and Nanes want to join in this exorcism. They feel bad for ruining Ayano's midnight date with Kazuma. As they walk through the corridor, Yukari points out the 7 legends of the school, one of them being the haunted sakura tree that hasn't bloomed for a long time. Kazuma detects something, and before the girls know it, a gust of wind flips up their skirts. A ghost ball zooms past them and warns them to stay away. Ayano thinks Kazuma is hiding something and gets rough so that he can spill the beans. But he kisses her nose. It's the only way to make her let go. What follows next is what turns Ayano and his friends into clowns. Whether it's falling down from the stairs, getting slammed by the anatomical body, slipping on wax, or getting sprayed by the water, Kazuma is just playing cool, like he anticipated all of this. As they're taking a break, Kazuma acts ambiguously, as though he is putting Ayano first as the most important person, and sends the wrong signals to her friends. Then he senses movement in the backyard as all the wind is gathering there. He couldn't sense them earlier because of their natural aura. They're different from things that defy the laws of this world. They see the teasing ghost ball in the backyard, and the final blooper straw comes when it drops a bucket over Ayano's head. So as Ayano goes crazy shooting fireballs within Reiha, Kazuma tells the ghost ball to stop. It becomes cocky, so Kazuma easily slams it down. It turns out to be a little fairy, Tana. Ayano and Tana start arguing, and they're so in sync, dismissing each other, that her friends believe they are so alike. The fairy is doing this because of the wishes of a dying old man. Tana and her fairy friends use their magic to make the sakura bloom for one last time before disappearing. As the gang leaves, Ayano is relieved that the fairy was just trying to protect something. However, Kazuma disagrees because the most effective way to protect something is not to let anyone know it exists. They noticed it because the fairies caused the incident. Thus, they weren't protecting anything. They're innocent, easygoing tricksters who love to play pranks on humans and have fun messing with them. This doesn't sit well with Ayano, as she vows to burn them for this humiliation. Ren is such a popular guy. His friends are fighting over him. Eventually, it's Kanon Suzuhara who wins him over with girl power and gets the right to walk her home. On his way home, he is enthralled by a girl singing at the park. Ren becomes friends with Aumi and plays with her. Ayano and Kazuma just finished another Yama exercising mission and, as usual, traded sarcasm. Ayano forces him to treat her to dinner. Kazuma excuses himself when Tana comes seeking his help. The first thing Kazuma did was interrogate the bug about how she knew his details. The Wind Spirit King is the chief of the fairies' village. She has a request for him. Their treasure has been stolen, and they want him to find it. Ren and Ayumi are enjoying each other's company when several agents show up, push Ren away, and get rough on Ayumi. They're going to use a taser on her. Ren becomes a man by protecting her. He introduces himself as a member of Kanagi and tells them to scram. But they aren't cowed, as they reveal they serve the Tsuwabuki family. They claim Ayumi is their property. Ren puts up a brave front to tell them to go away or be burned where they stand. The agents give up for now, but will be back. Ayumi has a favor to ask of him, so Ren goes with her. Ayano learns Ren has been labeled a thief. Jugo says the Tsuwabuki family called and accused Ren of stealing their treasure, then fled. In the worst-case scenario, they may kill him. They must get Ren first before Tsuwabuki and Jugo have already contacted Kirika. Jugo wanted to contact Kazuma, but he is out of range. He asks if Ayano has his contacts in times of emergency, which she vehemently denies. Jenna telepathically transmits to Kazuma's brain what their treasure looks like. An egg. Kazuma is surprised Tsuwabuki stole it. Knowing they are the greatest earth mages, they are cold and spiteful, which makes Kazuma want to kill them. Jenna would be glad if he just got the treasure back. Yuyuji reports to Mayumi about the incident. She doesn't like it when he groups her and Ayumi as the same and threatens never to let him see her again. He vows to protect her and defeat his enemies, even if it costs him his life. Kazuma is outside Tsuwabuki's residence, and he senses that the treasure is not around, shocking Tiana. She'll be in big sh*T if she doesn't find it. Kazuma eavesdrops in the hall and recognizes this woman, Kiriha, talking to her subordinates. She is the temporary head of the family since her father is ill and is giving orders to retrieve it. Otherwise, failure would mean staining their family's name. Kazuma knows it's that time for that grand festival. Once every 30 years, on the first full moon of the month, they do a ritual to calm Mount Fuji. Kazuma realizes he has been spotted, and Kiriha's gravity pulls him into the hall. He is surprised she could sense him because he was flying and did not contact the ground. Kazuma manages to bluff his escape by using Tiana. He claims they have assaulted the land of fairies and won't allow their evil ritual to use the treasure. They will die tomorrow, which will leave them in shock. Kazuma now lies in wait for Tsuwabuki to get the treasure. There is no need to do anything. When they get back with it, he can kill as many of them he wants and hopes they won't give it back to him without resisting. Aumi wants to see the real sea before everything ends. Ren takes her to the beach via train. Ren wants her to come to Kannagi, as they will protect her, but she can't. After this, she will have to go back to Tsuwabuki because she is needed for that grand festival. The last time Mount Fuji erupted was 300 years ago. Its eruption was so powerful that it caused the formation of a demon beast that wreaked havoc. The Tsuwabuki family stood up and defeated the beast, but at the cost of their lives. Because the beast is so powerful, the seal can only last 30 years, and each time they need to redo the seal, the one who presides over the ceremony uses all their power to seal the beast before dying. It's like a human sacrifice. A clan member dies at every festival. Aumi is doing this, not because of Tsuwabuki, it's because it has to be done. If her death can save many lives, it will not be in vain. Before that, she wanted to make some memories of her own because, prior to this, she had none. Ren vows to protect her and wants to make more memories with her. The sea, stars, moon, and even the fake sun Ren made with his fireball all seemed so pretty. Here are Mayumi and Yuuji to take her back. She warns that attacking her means a declaration of war with her clan. Aumi thanks Ren for everything and goes back to Mayumi's side. Yuuji abuses her for running away and putting Mayumi's life in danger. This scene pisses off Ren, so he is going to protect her as promised. Mayumi lets Yuuji handle him. Since they're standing on sand, Yuuji has the most advantage as an earth mage. However, Ren turns the tables on him by burning the ground into magma and using it to fight back and defeat Yuuji. Ren turns his attention to Mayumi, who comments about his weird taste for this doll. She reveals that Aumi wasn't human, but an exact clone of hers when she was 12 years old. She was created only a month ago to take Mayumi's place for this ceremony. Even if she wasn't sacrificed, the most she could last is only another month. Ayano comes by with Kirika and is worried about Ren. Mayumi assures her that no physical harm was done to him. She wants her to relay a message back to Kannagi that they have retrieved their stolen treasure and won't prosecute Kannagi anymore and leave. Kazuma and Tiana must have waited so long that they fell asleep. When Aumi returns, Tiana becomes a bloodthirsty fairy, wanting Kazuma to fulfill his duty and chop her up and retrieve the treasure. But Kazuma doesn't want to. He is going home. Aumi is presented to Kiriha as he excuses Yuuji. The next day, Yuuji confronts Kiriha about Mayumi because the last time he saw her, he was leaving with Kiriha to some room. Kiriha brings him to a door that leads to a cave on the grand festival grounds. Inside, there is a large crystal pillar with Mayumi lying in suspended animation. Because Ayumi's escape prevented them from making final preparations, Mayumi is needed to lend her extra power to Aumi for the grand festival. Yuuji laments that he is supposed to protect Mayumi, so Kiriha offers to give him enormous power. Power big enough to defeat anything and protect the ones he loves. Ayano goes to see Jugo about Ren. He's fine, just depressed. He tells her not to interfere with Tsuwabuki's personal matters. Kiriha is talking to her dad, Iwao, who seems to be merged with a rock. She tells him she has dealt with all the obstacles to this ceremony. Iwao is one of them. He says it wasn't the ceremony he attempted to stop, but her ambitions. She claims he tried to kill her, and since he failed, he turned into this. Ayano goes to give Ren a pep talk on why he abandoned Ayumi. She had her duties. I can't stop her. After lots of thinking, Ren feels she really wants to talk to her more and see her again. Ayano says not to make a big fuss, as they're just going to meet and talk to her. As Kiriha prepares Ayumi for the ceremony, the servants report intruders, but it's not the wind mage but two fire mages. They are faced with a giant earth golem. It's Yuyuji, and Reiha's flames can't hurt him since they are the ultimate power he got from Kiriha to protect Mayumi. He doesn't care if he dies. Ren is amazed by his resolve but feels something is wrong with it. He wonders if it is right to sacrifice something to protect others, but this riles Yuyuji up. Ren is saved from being smashed thanks to Kazuma's perfect timing. Yuyuji may be out for a while, but his body is regenerating. Kazuma didn't like this family's way of thinking about sacrificing something to obtain something. Yuyuji remembers that Mayumi gave him her first kiss and forced him to take responsibility. She found out she was going to be sacrificed to calm Mount Fuji and lamented her destiny. She'll never get away. That's why she wants him to protect her, and if she tries to run away, she wants him to stop her no matter what. Yuyuji swore his loyalty to her on that day. Ren asks Kazuma if he would die to protect him. There's no point in doing so if he dies. He wants everyone to live happily. Ren finally understands and wants to handle this himself. He tells Yuyuji that his clan has been stuck in the wrong way of thinking about the need to sacrifice. It can't be helped since it's their destiny to calm Mount Fuji. Ren realizes they're fighting the wrong enemy. Ren uses his flames on Yuyuji, but they are not burning him. His purification flames turn Yuyuji back to his human form. Kuriha makes her appearance and is impressed that Yuyuji lost after gaining so much power. Kazuma realizes something. Because Earth mages can't control gravity, her power is derived from the demon beast. This power is also what gave Yuyuji his power. Kazuma whisks Ren away to see his girlfriend while they take on Kuriha. The agents won't let Ren interfere, but after he threatened them about his power and how he beat Yuyuji, they just fled. So now it's up to Ren to use his charm to persuade Ayumi. She still has her doubts, as she feels she's been created for today's purpose. Even so, she hasn't got long to live. Ren doesn't care, and he wants to be with her. So she changes her mind and wants to live. Kuriha narrates how she was born without earthly powers. It was humiliating for the next head of the clan. That's why she sought more power. Kazuma slices the crystal to save Mayumi. But the cave is going to cave in. If normal exits won't do, make a hole through the ceiling. After making their way out, they see Iwao lying on the side. He wants them to stop Kuriha. Kazuma interrupts Ayano and Kuriha's fight. He reveals that Kuriha's goal for the ceremony isn't to stop the beast, but to gain its power. Iwao told him all that before he died, because humans cannot contain the beast's power. A ceremony is needed to seal it so it becomes containable. Kuriha explains the suffering she went through without power, but Kazuma feels something is amiss. Because Yuyuji became a monster when he absorbed her powers, why does she remain a human? It's because she was born with the beast's power. He believes she is its pawn for its plan for revival and misleads her into believing she will attain its power. Kuriha refuses to believe that when the ground begins to shake, the beast is awakening. Here comes the demon beast, Zenon. It absorbs all the demonic power Kuriha has. So much about being powerful. They need to stop it from getting out of the mountain completely. Kazuma, Ren, and Ayano go fight the beast. Its Kai is warding off their attacks. Kuriha becomes so upset that she is Zenon's puppet that she manages to summon her earthly power to kill it. She wants it to give her back her lost time and life. Then she got blasted away. Ayumi couldn't bear to see this go on any longer, so she decided to help them out using her power, even if she knew this would be the end of her. Ren doesn't want her, but Kazuma tells him she has made her decision. She knew what was coming and yet chose to fight. What is he going to do? Ren is resolved to defeat Zenon and wants Kazuma and Ayano to lend their powers. Kazuma summons his contractor power to lift it up for Ayano to slash it with Enraiha and Ren to finish it in one hit. In the aftermath, Ren rushes to Ayumi's side. Ayano is worried for Ren, but Kazuma doesn't want her to interrupt. He reveals that even if Ayumi is a clone, growing so much in a month is just too much. To grow a 12-year-old clone like Ayumi, you need 12 years. Iwao stole the fairy's treasure to speed it up. The toll on its body when she uses up such power. She's going to die. Ayano lashes out at Kazuma, saying that their battle was in vain. They fought only to have her lifespan shortened. She blames him as a contractor. He couldn't do anything. Kazuma admits he is weak and hopes they'll grow stronger next time. Ren and Ayumi have their final moments together. She doesn't regret anything since she lived with him, despite the fact that it was a short time. Mayumi feels bad about mistreating her clone. As Ayumi turns into sand, she wants to see Ren's smile instead of his tears as her last memory. Ren confesses that he loves her. After she's gone, he cries his heart out. The next day, Ren talks to Kazuma about how he wanted to show Ayumi so much more of this beautiful world. Kazuma replies that she was happy enough because she was just a doll for the festival, and he made her into a real human. To Ren, Ayumi is still alive. The final words she whispered into his ear will always remain in his heart. Ayano, Kazuma, and Ren head to the amusement park as part job and part fun at Jugo's request. Ren's buddies, Kanon and Tatsuya Serizawa, are here too, eternally arguing to be with Ren, so to stop them both from fighting over him, Ren goes with both of them. Kazuma allows it since their job is just to ascertain if there's some spiritual phenomenon in this park or not. Flashback reveals Jugo wanted Kazuma to help teach his daughter to control her powers and offered bonuses to cover her tuition, which includes tickets to the park. Kazuma wanted Ren to come along too, so Jugo gave Ren a different set of tickets. Kanon and Tatsuya continue to fight over Ren's attention, while Kazuma doesn't sense anything spiritually dangerous. The dangerous ones are going to be humans because he tells Ayano that the lady cleaner who just came out of the toilet is a cross-dressing man. In his bag is a camera, and he has put a spy camera in the woman's toilet. Ayano instantly beats him up, and would have received the death penalty if this were his country. Then she rushes to beat up a couple of guys trying to hit on timid girls. Kazuma would have received her death penalty too if he wasn't swift enough to avoid it. That's because he is looking through the voyeur's camera. As the day draws to a close, Ayano realizes a couple of suspicious people are spying on them. She wanted to go after them, but Kazuma stopped her. Then they end up on the Ferris wheel. Ayano goes into full blabber mode, but that guy just sits there quietly. It shut her up. Seeing the sun setting over the horizon shut her up even more. Ren is awestruck by the beautiful lights on the Ferris wheel. It brings tears to his eyes whenever he thinks about Ayumi. Once he composes himself, Kanon welcomes him back because she notices his head is always somewhere else. She says she will always wait for him, no matter how long it takes, until he tells her everything. Until she can fill the gaps in his heart. The romantic mood is ruined when Tatsuya comments on this daytime opera soap. Kanon abuses that wild gorilla for ruining her big confession. Ren started laughing. His friends also start laughing before the fight over him resumes. Kazuma and Ayano see Ren and others having fun. Ayano notices the kind of gentle face he only puts up for Ren. She is concerned that she never puts this face on her face. Her heart starts beating faster when she realizes his hand is touching hers. At the end of the day, when everybody meets up, Ren thanks Kazuma for inviting him because he was worried about him. Kazuma knows Jugo as the ringleader. Ren's job was to spy on them, and his goal was to make Kazuma and Ayano date together. That's why Ren called Kanon and Tatsuya and went off with them. Ayano realizes she hasn't caught the suspicious people. They are here now. They turn out to be Yukari and Nanes in disguise. They're spying on Ayano's love date. They have taken quite a number of photos with different lovely expressions of Ayano in love. Enough to fill a photo album. Jugo seems pleased that Kazuma and Ayano are out, and he thinks they won't even come back tonight. From America, Catherine McDonald arrives in Japan, not for sightseeing, but to have a duel and reclaim the title of the strongest fire mage from Kanagi, whom she feels this isolated clan doesn't deserve. Ayano is spacing out so much that she can't pay attention in class and becomes clumsy. Her friends can tell she's expecting a date with Kazuma. Ayano denies it and says it's just her long-awaited reward for a super high-class dinner treat at a super high-class restaurant. This is what Yukari and Nanes understand. It's a date. Kazuma and Ayano look stunning in their suit and dress. Ren talks to Jugo, and it seems he really wants both of them to get together. He feels Kazuma is necessary for their future. Though he has left, he should return at some point. Seeing that they are both useless and that there is no advancement whatsoever, he hopes one of them will slip up tonight. Ayano begins enjoying her super high-class dinner, but a group of robbers has to ruin it. Though the duo aren't cowed and continue eating, the robber is attacked by flames. But it isn't Ayano. It comes from a spirit beast. Azizel belongs to Catherine and continues to shoot flames until the robbers and other guests flee the floor. Catherine introduces herself, but Ayano doesn't know who she is. Kazuma knows the McDonald family are famous fire mages in America and advanced in the spirit beast area. After the ladies trade insults, Catherine wants Ayano to hand over her clan title as the strongest to her. This means giving her an Raiha. Catherine summons her strongest spirit beast, Metatron, a stone angel made out of several thousand spirits bound by her magic. Not even in Reiha's flames can burn Metatron because it regenerates. Kazuma is just enjoying his wine while watching the ladies fight. Kirika calls Jugo about the fighting between two fire mages in a building. Witnesses identified Ayano as one of them. However, she notes that there is an evil spirit in that building. Though it doesn't have the power to cause damage itself, its foul kai has started to seep out into the surrounding area. Kazuma is already going to deal with it when Ayano unknowingly slashes it away in her attempt to cut Metatron. Ayano grows weary, so Kazuma hints that she is trying to burn the wrong thing. Then she gets it and starts using her purification flames to purify Metatron. Because the spirits composing Metatron were bound by a spell into something they shouldn't have, their twisted forms made them no different from evil spirits or demons. However, her purification causes the place to explode. Catherine calls it a draw and promises to return another time to beat the crap out of them. The duo will have to settle that later because the building is in danger of collapsing. Kazuma suggests she needs to take out the top story only before it causes a chain reaction and flattens the other floors. Ayano thinks she could fail, but with Kazuma's support, she manages to prevent any further disaster. When everything is over, Ayano continues her complaining. Her night is ruined. All that ranting made her stomach growl. In the end, they had cheap roadside stall ramen. Kazuma had some wine with him and accidentally splashed some on her face. He licks it in order not to waste it. Jugo is willing to compensate for all the damages and will have the bill sent to Kanagi. Catherine is training herself by exercising demons with Metatron. She's training to take down Ayano. An incident this big has caught the attention of Kirika. She hopes Kazuma can help her solve this case, but there's no need because Catherine is coincidentally here. She is threatening the waiter with Metatron just because he brewed the tea the way she didn't prefer. Once they learn her goal of defeating Ayano, they have reservations that she can do so. Kazuma is mocking what she's doing, so Catherine wants to challenge him. Kirika leaves him to deal with her. When she fights him, Kazuma easily destroys Metatron. He tells it straight, she relies too much on Metatron. Once that is out of the way, she is helpless. Besides, Metatron definitely cannot defeat Enreha. Catherine wonders why he is telling her all this. He is not aligned with anyone. As long as you pay, he does the job. Catherine gets the idea to hire him as her coach. Ayano gets riled up just hearing her friends gossip that they have seen Kazuma with a new girl. Speaking of which, here he comes now. He hands Ayano a challenge letter. In a week's time, she will face off with Catherine. Kazuma lives up to his end of the deal to train Catherine with a special attack. Catherine isn't feeling her money's worth, so she tries to stop him. In the process, she trips, he catches him, and she suddenly realizes her heart is beating. Meanwhile, Jugo realizes Ayano has a rival. The day before the challenge, pissed Ayano ate like crazy. Then here comes Catherine with Kazuma into the cafe to celebrate the end of their training. Exchange of rival insults. They could have settled their business right now if Kazuma hadn't cooled them down. Ayano learns that if Catherine wins this match, she will bring Kazuma back to America. Since the McDonalds are rich, he goes where the money is. Catherine gets all clingy to him, so it's too much for Ayano to take, and she runs away. But later, she is resolved to keep Kazuma in Japan. She won't let him go to America. She wants him to treat her to all the expensive cuisine every night until he runs out of money. At the challenge, Ayano makes a good start, disposing of Metatron easily. However, it's just a trick so that Catherine can surround her with her secret technique of flaming wisps. They start attacking Ayano, and she takes a beating. Kazuma notes that this is Ayano's weakness. Because she charges straight in, she is weak at handling multiple attacks. Her friends think he is mean to tell Catherine this, but he notes that even if a stubborn girl gets knocked around a few times, she'll come to realize her own weakness and take action. Ayano seems to have lost, so Catherine brags about her future with Kazuma in America. This was enough for Ayano to gain more strength to make a comeback. She destroys the wisps and uses some of them against Catherine. In the end, it is Ayano's victory. They shake hands as the loser is gracious and the winner is humble. Kazuma notes that Catherine let her guard down in the end, which enabled Ayano to win. Just as Ayano is about to force Kazuma to take her out to dinner, Catherine tells her to stay away from her man. She gave up her ambitions to take him to America, and she's staying in Japan. Thank you for watching till the end, and please don't forget to subscribe. See you next time, and peace out.